Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Welcome to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tuned to a bit of a special type of show. Our goal on this show is to shine the light on American open wounds and showcase those urgently attempting to stop the bleeding and hopefully inspire some folks to undercover opportunities to do the same. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_L. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. My name is Sarah B and I'm your host. Sit back and let me take you on an impactful journey as I introduce you to today's new brand of American hero. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, I have a good show. I am excited because I've been traveling this wonderful country of yours. I have been on so many different flights, different, time zones, so many different, airlines. And, obviously it's great, but traveling, it's great, because it expands and you get to meet people and you talk and engage. But at the same time, it can be exhausting. It can be draining. But who's saying, traveling, who's going to stop? I'm not going to stop it, actually traveling, because I love it so much. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. That's my IG account. Welcome to another week of my show, Sarah B, Sarah Talk Solutions. Welcome to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can actually find me on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, I have a great show which is installed, which is another week of my jet setting, of my traveling journeys. I am going to have an open conversation or open discussion. This is why I would like for you to email me or shoot me a text, because I want to hear your thoughts on what it's like, what's the do's and the don'ts of traveling. Is it what things that really annoys you, or what things that kind of just makes you go into like breaking point mode. By all means, drop me an email, theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my social, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, as I said, I've been traveling this amazing country of yours, which, oh my gosh, there's so much to see out there as such. And I am asking, what are your thoughts of your do's and your don'ts when you're traveling? I've always wanted to know, what is it that really set you off and what things that kind of make you just like think and go, are you serious? Because there's so many people that just think it's all about them when they go traveling. And it just baffles me in a sense of like my irk or my thing is, children traveling, you know what I mean? Like, especially if they cry, you know what I mean? Like in a sense of, and it's not just a cry, it's just like, it just goes on for hours. Like, I don't know, if you're traveling and connecting flights and this, and then you have a child that just keeps on crying. And I even saw a passenger went up to the mother as to say, look, do you want me to take care of the child? Because this child was just constantly just crying. It was like a flight from, was it Colorado Denver to LA. And this damn child cried the whole way through. And I was just like, I was just beside myself. Like, I understand sometimes it can be unsettling for the little one, but at the same time, we have to suffer in silence where we just want to get to where we want to get to as such. So I'm interested to know, what is it that actually annoys you or just kind of makes you like, how and why would you travel, with your child, especially if it's a crying child and it doesn't shut up? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Guys, you can drop me an email, theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. That's my IG account. By all means, I love to hear what you guys have to say about traveling, especially traveling with children, especially if they don't stop crying. Welcome to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA, my IG account. Guys, I've been traveling around this country, and I'm interested to know what's your do's and your don'ts when you're traveling. They say do your research. Don't leave packing to the last minute. Do ensure that your own safety when it's a dangerous country. Don't drink local water if it's not safe. Do travel to new places. Don't succumb to jet lag. Do be friendly to people you meet. Don't allow yourself to be pushed around by salespeople. So yeah, that's just, I like that. It's, as I said, when you're traveling and they know, they can smell it when you're new in town and you don't know any better. And it's just like, fresh meat or fresh blood. Here are 16 things you do not do when you travel. So don't eat near a major tourist site. Don't exchange money at an airport. Don't use travelers' checks, prepaid cards. Do not use bank cards with fees. Don't look at only US-based search engines. Don't skip travel insurance, and don't rule out hostels, and don't avoid hospitality networks. So that's just interesting. So that's 16 things not to do when you travel. But everyone has their own different style, different unique and all that kind of stuff. But for me, as I said, I like to, familiarize. As I said, yes, I like to research. But there's sometimes you just want to get to where you need to get to because you're like, I'm over, when you're especially tired with the traveling or jet lags, which always jet lag is the one that always gets you or gets me. And there's not enough Barocca, to drink, which it takes a while for your body to kind of like, oh yeah, you got this. But there's times where you're just flat out exhausted. By all means, drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA.
How high? Cross my heart. Hope to die. Yeah, do anything for you. And I'll do
You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_LA_Sarah. Guys, here are 16 things you don't do while you are traveling. So that's just interesting, travel writers, always talk about what to do when you travel, and it's a must see or must do, stay here, eat there, spend this, blah, blah, blah. But when it's all things shouldn't do on the road. Lots of conversation, travel wisdom is out of date as an increasingly digital and connected world. Moreover, since the internet changes so quickly, tips and tricks are constantly changing. There are plenty of travel mistakes that leads to wasted money, lost time, and missed opportunities. However, there are a few pillars of wisdom that are imputable. Today, I have shared some what you shouldn't do when you travel. If you avoid the common mistakes, you're traveling, cheaper, smarter, and longer. So keep in mind, there's always an exception to every travel rule in some places, and these rules may not apply by, 99% of the time when you're on the road. So it all depends. So number one, they say don't eat near major tourist sites. The food near any major attraction is going to be double the price and half the flavor, and what else you find. When restaurants know people are coming back, they don't have to worry about consistent quality. And what to do, when tourists know about quality local food anyway. I do. They just arrive. It's amazing to them, and many are happy to return home talking about they ate amazing pizza in front of a Colosseum restaurant in tourists and lack of incentive to the top notch. However, local non-touristy restaurants must be high quality or else locals will stop going there. These places can't be serving a slop, which is true. So instead of eating at a tourist trap, walk at least 5 blocks away from one. The further away, the cheaper and the tastier the food would be. And avoid restaurants with glossy menus and multiple languages. That's for sure a sign of a tourist trap. If you aren't comfortable walking into a random restaurant, you can use the website to find out the locals and rately high. So, there's Yelp for people, reviews, figure it out. And there's another one which is Open Rice, like Yelp, but specifically for countries in Asia and with over 200 million listing. I didn't know that. Oh, I like that. So moreover, do your research, do your do's and your don'ts, because you just know that that's how it is. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message on IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. I'm talking about, 16 things you don't do while traveling. So number 2, we've got here, don't exchange money at the airport, which is true because it's always expensive. Everything is always expensive at the airport. Even when you buy a bottle of water, it's almost like $10. You can get the worst exchange rates if you do. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog.sarahtalks.com. You can drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Today's show, we're talking about 16 things you don't do when you're actually traveling. As such, I am at number 2, where you don't exchange money at the airports because everything seems to be, they say that you get the best rates, use an ATM or credit card once you get into a city away from the airport. This would be close to an interbank rates where you can get and ensure that there's no getting ripped off. As such, like never exchange cash unless you absolutely have to. Once I had to, exchange cash at an airport in Romania where the ATM, card didn't work, but it was an emergency. If you don't need to exchange your money, try to do it at a bank downtown where you can get the better rate and fewer fees. So yeah, that's where they get you when you're at the airport. You know, these crazy, crazy, crazy fees. Number 3, don't use traveler's checks or prepaid cards. I remember back in, what is it? In the 90s or the 200s, in the 90s, where everyone used to use, you know, traveler's checks. Do they still even exist now? Like, I haven't seen or heard, and no one talks about traveler's checks, prepaid cards, any of that good stuff. You know, traveler's checks, you know, issued by the banks for predetermined value, allow the bearer of the exchange check for cash anywhere in the world. So yeah, it's still out there as such. So you know, you just do your homework, and you'll be fine when you're traveling and jet setting the world. That's how it is. You know what I mean? Just be careful, because I know when you're actually at airports, and especially when you're new, you don't know what's what. You know, number 4, don't use bank cards with fees. So that's interesting. You know, I don't like giving banks my money. I rather use it for travel. And it's been years since I had to pay a bank fee of any kind. There's always bank fees. Always, always, and more always. No matter where you go. You know, it's just how it is. Like, it's just crazy. You know, the fees that actually get you, in a sense of, it's just next level. As such. So it depends where you are. Just keep you know, be, you know, smart. Just be a smart traveler. You know, like for example, for non-US residents, here's some resources that you can find. So creditcardfinder.com.au, which is Australia, money.co.uk is for the UK, and then rewardscanada.ca. So, you know, how to avoid paying fees when traveling, you know, how to get the right travel cards or credit cards. Don't look at only US based search engines. You know, that's another, you know, that's another good tip. You know, don't always just look, but it depends on where you are in the world. Always use flight search engines that have blind spots, no matter where they are in the world, but limiting your research or limiting your searching not only can large search engine, but it can reduce the chances to find a good deal. You know, many sites don't feature small budget airlines or seasonal carriers, while no flights search engines are the best 100% you know time. Avoid sticking to just Kayak, Expedia, and expand your horizon. I know when I book for a flight, I always use Skyscanner. I think Skyscanner is always amazing. And then they say there's skip lag as well. But hey, Skyscanner is my go-to place because it just does it all. It's all in one place. It brings all the airlines as such. So, you know, it's just interesting. Just do your homework. Be a smart traveler. Drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. So by all means, guys, be a smart traveler and do your research and do your homework. To Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email at theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio. Every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me an email. You can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email at theblog, sarahtalks.com, drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can drop me a message on my IG account, Aussie_Sarah_LA. I am discussing about traveling all over the world as such. And, you know, I'm going through the 16 things you don't do. You know, don't skip travel insurance. Me personally, I don't do travel insurance. I think it's just a waste of money. You know what I mean? And such, like, you know, I don't tend to travel to like dangerous countries or, you know, non-English speaking countries, you know, so I really, you know, fortunate in that respect. But if you're going into like a country that you don't really understand the language, or you're going to be there for some lengthy time, yes, I would encourage that, you know, deeply. But, you know, if it's just like, you know, going from one English country to another English country, I just think I reckon just travel insurance, there's not a need. You know, how to buy the perfect insurance. You know what I mean? Like 10 common questions about travel insurance. You know, the best travel insurance companies. You know, the best travel insurance companies for backpackers. This comes to number 7. You know, don't rule out hostels. I haven't stayed at a hostel for so long. I think at one time I did stay when I was, you know, where was I? Was it New Zealand or was it Australia? One of those ones. And it's not my cup of tea. There's some good ones, but still you just don't know, because unfortunately there's a lot of people will steal your belongings, and that's not my cup of tea, you know. They say, you know, most people think hostels are smelly, unclean, bed-bug-ridden facilities aimed at poor college students. It's a common stereotype, you know, and as I said, I tried it. It's not my cup of tea. I think it was just emergency that I had to do it. So, you know, everyone has their own preferences and their tastes, you know. So, you know, what's the most, you know, favorite hostels around the world? You know, how do you pick up a good, you know, hostel? So you just got to do your research and just, you know, make sure that you know, you get a good vibe, get a good feel. You know, some of them, as I said, you know, you get breakfast included, which is great, and then you get to meet everyone who's staying there, which is great. But as I said, at the same time, just do your homework, because, you know, sometimes what they put on websites is not always sometimes what it cranks up to be. So just be careful. As I said, just be a smart traveler and do your homework and your research. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email at theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can shoot me a text, an IG message, Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email at theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. To Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog, sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, we're talking about 16 things you don't do while you're traveling. We're at number 8, which is don't avoid hospitality networks, which that is true, because when I remember traveling all over the world, if I was working at bars and clubs, hospitality networks let travelers stay with locals for free and allow you to swap stories and participate in cross-culture exchange. So, you know, contrary to the popular belief, you don't always have to sleep on the couch. I've slept on couches and beds, in guest rooms and in mansions. Also, they're just not single travelers. I've stayed with couples, families, college students, and 20-something, and hosted single travelers. So, you know, it's always nice. You know, you've got the options of couch surfing. You've got Server, which is like couch surfing. You've got Be Welcome, which is another hospitality culture exchange website, and Warm Showers is like couch surfing, which is specifically for cyclists. So that's pretty cool. I like it. I like how you've got your different options and your choices out there. So number 9, we've got here, don't take taxis. Well, I've got plenty of taxi stories to tell. Like I just recently, like last month at LAX, at Los Angeles, you know, taxi, there was too many, I don't think I could get an Uber for some reason. I think that it was too long, or I don't know, my phone wasn't working. It was something like that. And I hopped into a taxi. I thought, okay, the next best thing is a taxi. And the taxi driver got so angry and so pissed off with me that because my fare wasn't long enough, that he started to be rude and irate. And I got scared. I asked him to, you know, drop me off. You know, he refused. I actually called 911, and he was saying to me I was the worst passenger he ever had. I was on the phone to the police on the speakerphone. He was even saying to the police lady or the woman, saying, "Look, you need to drop her off, you know, or this is going to report it as kidnapping." As such, he dropped me off at the Hilton and he just sped off. And all the people were like looking. I go, "Just what happened?" I go, "Look, he just got angry and got pissed off because my fare wasn't long enough." And he's saying that he was waiting at, you know, at the airport for over an hour. And I'm like, I can't help that. That's out of my control. And I know I did the right thing of calling the police. I wanted to take a photo of the number plate, but he just spun off so fast, I just couldn't get it. So just be careful out there with the taxis at airports, because they are just arseholes. There's no way around it, and I didn't like it. And I was actually, you know, a little nervous, and I was scared, and I was just like, no wonder why LA has such a bad reputation, because it's just rude bastards like him, you know what I mean? I had to wait at the Hilton near the airport, you know, waiting, and I ordered an Uber. And the Uber, he couldn't believe what just happened. He goes, "Oh my goodness." And then he goes to me, "Yep, LA people are the rudest people as such. It's just their culture. It's just how they are." And I'm thinking, you don't need, you know, to be rude and to irate. As I said, I talk to a lot of people. I let people know about it. Guys, drop me an email. I love to hear your horrid stories with taxi drivers at different airports. You can drop me an email at theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also, you know, drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Miss Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email, which is theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. We're talking about 16 things you don't do when you're traveling. We're at number 11, where it says don't book your trip too early. Never heard that one before. You know, look, you want to book a flight, you want to book a flight, you know, and that's half of the excitement, booking a flight. You know, I think it's just awesome. Just book it when you want to book it, you know, to, you know, make it feel real. Book your flight, hotel or resort right away. It's done and then you're going. But that mistake by the person who end up paying more than others, when it comes to travel, early birds don't always get the worm. Just do your coverage, or just, you know, wait for deals. And that's what I like. I wait for deals. There was a flight which was last week, being the 40 years of Qantas. They had flights from LAX to Australia, which was like under $1,000, which I thought that's amazing. Amazing, and more amazing. So just keep an eye out, be a smart traveler, do your homework, do your research, find out what's out there, you know, just, you know, depending where you're going and what time of the year. That's another thing, that's another factor that plays into fact. Number 12, they say don't skip the local tourist office. I haven't been into a tourist office. I've forgotten, are they still around? You know, surprised how few tourists visits local tourism board. It's always must, you know, first stop of any trip. Sometimes I want to get some kind of, you know, info, but sometimes I'm just like, I just look at them and they're just so outdated, and they look like they're part of the furniture, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then sometimes you got to ask them, and I'm like, I want to know these information, and I just thought, oh my gosh, sometimes they just like death warm up, and I'm thinking, okay, no, I'm, you know, sometimes I'm just looking at them and go, how long you been at this job? And it's too long. You know, they say number 13, don't avoid the sharing economy. So every year, new companies, apps, and platforms are created to help travelers travel better and cheaper. These platforms connect you directly when locals, so whoever have deeper, more authentic trip. While most popular are familiar with the Airbnb, there's a ton of other sharing economy apps out there. So, you know, it all depends. You know, depends on, you know, you've got here websites of trusted house sitters, you've got BlaBlaCar, you've got Eat With, you've got Turo, you've got RV Share, you've got Camp Spaces. So Trusted House Sitters is a site that connects house pet sitters with people who need them. BlaBlaCar, which is a ride share sharing platform that lets you rent a car. Eat With, which is a meal sharing service that connects you with local cooks who serve, you know, private meals. You got Turo, which is a car servicing. You got RVs, which is an Airbnb for RVs. You got Camp Space, which is a unique camping for RV spaces, ranging from super budget to glamping. So, you know, it all depends on what you're up to and where you're going, and, you know, what's your preferences. Do your homework, do your research, be a smart traveler, don't get caught out, because you sometimes, unfortunately, you do. Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblog@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also find me on my socials with my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into a different type of show. You can drop me an email, theblock@sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message or an IG message on at Aussie_Sarah_LA. All depends where you are, what's going on. I love to hear. I'm going through the 16 things you don't do while traveling. You know what I mean? It all depends on the person. It depends on who you are and what you're about and what you're doing. You know, it could be for business, it could be for leisure. We're up number 14, don't skip using points and miles, which is true. Over a period of time, collecting and using points and miles is the number way of being able to travel and the world on a budget. But leveraging my regular spending on things like groceries, eating out, buying flights, I've been able to earn dozens of free flights and hotel stays, all with just regular spending, and I would love, have done it anyway. So if you're not collecting points and miles for free flights and hotel stays, you're missing out. So sign up for travel credit cards as soon as you decide where you want to travel. So that's always an incentive. Points and miles 101, a beginner's guide, how to earn 1 million frequent flyer miles every year, using points and miles free, travel a scam, the ultimate guide for, to points and miles. So, number 15, don't use a third-party airline sites unless you're saving a real good deal. Yes, I learned that the hard way. I love researching, for flights, which is wonderful. But you just got to be careful, because I remember one time I booked a flight with Skyscanner, which was a great deal, to Australia, and then I wanted to try to change the dates. I thought, let me just stay in Australia a little bit longer before I got back to the crazy La La Land or the USA. And for me to change a flight, they wanted to charge me a cost of a brand new air ticket. And I was like, what is this about? I was actually quite shocked by it, and I didn't change my flight because it was just way too expensive. A cost of a brand new ticket, that's what they wanted to do. And that was insane, and that was a little high, and I just found it was a complete rip off. How dare they? But hey, that's how they make their money, sometimes on the third party websites. So yeah, just be careful, with these third party booking sites. Often they are legit websites, and finding out during COVID, when things go wrong, you have very little support or recourse, which is pretty much you don't have any. Buy a new flight, or just you're going to miss out. Sometimes booking directly with an airline, you guarantee support from their airline should your flight be delayed or cancel. When you book via a third party, all the support goes out the window, which is very, very, very true. Getting assistance for delay or cancel flights can be tedious and end up costing a lot more money than when you actually go to rebook, which is very, 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 very true. Okay, so, number 16, don't ignore responsible travel. So just keep your guard up. Just keep your eyes, just be a smart traveler. Like whenever you go somewhere, be respectful. That means, among many things, be mindful of culture, norms, and traditions, as well as the environment. Ethical travel is the name of the game, and your job is to be considerate and respectful wherever you go. Plan trips in ways that's sustainable and avoid over-tourism. This actually includes not only you interact with people and cultures, but how you interact with the land and the animals too. Don't ride elephants or pet tigers. Don't swim with dolphins. These are unethical, activities. They rely on animal abuse. Instead, support companies and let you see animals in their natural habitat. Avoiding, common travel mistakes as they, help stop wasting money, save time, find more rewarding, cheaper travel experience, get off the beaten path, and be a better traveler. People who follow the guidebooks, click and go, and the book online end up paying more. If you put some extra work, you save big and less to spend, and more you travel. So just be smart, be savvy, and learn to travel with ease. So the best, we'll, go on about how to be, be smart, be savvy, and learn to travel with ease. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at the blog sarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to one and only the best digital radio station in the nation. To Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. You're listening to Miss Sarah B, and I'm your host. We're talking about the 16 things you don't do when you're traveling around the world. So book your trip. Logistically trips and tricks, or tips and tricks. Book your flight. Find a cheap flight. Using Skyscanner, which this is my personal favorite, because they search the airlines around the globe, so you always know in stone before any left unturned. Book your accommodation, where you can book with Hostelwell. And another one, which is booking.com. That's another good place, for booking accommodation. Don't forget travel insurance. For me, I don't really do travel insurance, but hey, everyone does it if doing longer trips, or you're going into a non-English, or maybe not the same language that you grew up, or not, you don't know. So the safety is, safety wing is best for everyone. You got Insure My Trip is another one, and you got MedJet, which is another place, for travel insurance. You want to travel for free, which is great. I just find it hard to believe, how do you actually travel for free? But they say travel credit cards allow you to earn points and can be redeemed for free flights and accommodation, all without extra spending, which is nice. So check out, the website or the guide, picking up the right card. And my current favorites is to get started and see the latest best deals. Need help finding activities on your trip, look on your websites, or look on, online. And then, saying ready to book a trip, check out, there's a good website, which is, the good old, depending where you're going, it's called, check out resource page for the best companies when you travel. So it's all by preferences, and it's all about, travel smart, It all depends on the person, it all depends on the individual, depending where you're going. So by all means, just do your homework and do your research, and happy traveling. listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email at theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can jump on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. That's my IG account. Guys, I have been discussing all about traveling. Just be a smart traveler. Do your homework. Do your research as such. I know there's, unfortunately, you kind of, you can sometimes get tricked into where to, they say that they make out to be, it's like a good, deal, but they're not. But sometimes you just have to do your homework, in that sense, because you just never know, because they like to actually, pretend they're selling you a good deal, but sometimes, they know, sometimes they can, double the price, sometimes they take advantage because they know that you're actually not from the area, or you're even not from the country. Just be a smart traveler. Just, keep your wits out, do your homework, do your research, always stay on top of your game. Try not to get taken advantage, especially the females, and especially solo travelers, because that's where they know that, unfortunately, we're the easier prey or easier target. By all means, you're listening to Miss Sarah B, and I'm your host, so drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. That's my IG account. You're listening to Sarah B, and I'm your host. You can drop me an email, theblogsarahtalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, I love to share this with you. Oh my goodness, I'm about to lose my mind. In my many traveling, between different airports and airlines and blah, 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 I found this amazing, it's called Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory at Denver Airport. Oh my gosh. I had, a good, say, 10, 15 minutes. And as I said, I thought, no coffee, because, too much coffee. I don't want the jitters. And I found this chocolate place, which I am so happy. I went in, lost my mind, and I just thought, let me just buy a chocolate. No, it's not just a chocolate. I am so glad that was a good stumble. So, their website is R for Rocky, M for Mountain, CF.com. By all means, so it's called Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. And they're yummy, 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 and more yummy, especially now it's coming up to Mother's Day, which is May 12th. So if you, like me, I love chocolates. And if you love your mummy, or mummy loves you, or, mummy-daughter relationship, oh my gosh, mums always love chocolate. And there's always anyone and everyone loves chocolate, not just mums. But this chocolate place was just unbelievably yummo. So, dive into a bliss with our caramel and toffees, a luxurious mixed sweet of buttery, which it is, buttery and buttery types of chocolate. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. So it was experience melt in your mouth magic with textured and taste created unforgettable moments. I can't even speak because it was so yummy. And then there's a Mother's Day special saving 15%, statewide. Treat mum to something sweet and something special and save time, So it's just, this chocolate was just, oh my gosh. They got bestsellers, they got seasonal, they got corporate gifting. I just lost my mouth. Just even talking about it is making my mouth all watery. By all means, guys, you've got to check out this place, which is Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. It is yummo, and more yummo. And I'm so glad that I stumbled this little place, because it was amazing.
Let us burning by my bed for you and now. I can feel my instincts here for you.
to Sarah Talk Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you tune into a bit of a different type of show. You can drop me an email at theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only The Block 105 Radio every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can find me on my socials, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA. Guys, I am talking about, which it is, Mother's Day coming up, May 12th. I found this amazing, yummy chocolate place. Oh my gosh, makes my mouth watery, which is Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. They have all these amazing good goodies. Oh boy, I cannot, as I said, I'm glad I only had like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to spare, because I would have, which I did, probably buy the whole store. They have seasonal delights, unwrapped, embrace the season with curated melody of chocolates. Our seasonal selections dance through exciting, limited time, only flavors, offering unique, festive experience in every bite. Oh boy, they were so yummy. So, find your local chocolate heaven. It is heaven, which is next level. Craving a handcrafted chocolate, your indulgence is just a step away. Visit our store locator and step into a world of chocolate bliss right in your neighborhood. Support locals and save a savory globally. Woo! So you've got here all these yummy chocolates where I am just like still like dreaming. I have one more little chocolate which I'm holding off, and I'm like, this is just too good to be true. Like, I understand chocolate's good, but maybe it's been so long I haven't had good chocolate. I've forgotten what it's like, because I know the American food is just yuck, period. If you want good chocolate, please, by all means, jump on and, visit or order online, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. I stumbled them over my many traveling, and it was a good stumble, because my mouth is watering. They just have a great selection, and it's just authentic in a sense of you can tell it's good quality. It's just good quality chocolate where it's just, it's just next level. I just can't explain it. You just got to go and just try it yourself, in that sense. It's just, Mother's Day is coming up, May 12th. Buy a box or maybe 3 for her. I know she'll love it. I know if I buy one, I have to buy one her and buy for me. They have a bold and intense with unveil the deep and rich secrets of premium dark chocolates. Each bite promises a pure, bold journey, whisking you away. Creamy and comforting, which is revealed in the creamy delight of our milk chocolates, where smooth melt sweets. Our recipe treasures a dedicated balance of silky chocolate and milk. So it's just, they have this beautiful taste and texture. By all means, check them out. Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. Order online. I recommend it to everyone. Guys, you can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. Stay safe, stay plugged, stay current. By all means, drop me an email. I love to hear from you. I love, hearing from people that tell me, their stories or their experiences. Stay safe and stay plugged to next show. You're listening to Sarah Talk Solutions. You can drop me an email, theblogsaratalks.com. Drop me a text, 818-963-9163. You're listening to the one and only, the best digital radio station in the nation, The Block 105 Radio, every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, you can drop me a message on my IG, which is Aussie_Sarah_LA.
Leave it to the west side like you do for you. Imagination calling, lyrics for you. Hey now, hey now.
Hi, it's me, Flo. Remember me from Ghost Hampton, the podcast? I was secretly in love with Lyle Hall. Well, now I'm dead and loving it. But let's talk about you. If you loved listening to Ghost Hampton, you can now spend the summer in the Hamptons. The original episodes are back, and now new episodes will be dropping every Friday. I may drop in too, just to make Lyle feel guilty. Ghost Hampton, the podcast, is now streaming everywhere.
Hey guys, it's Miriam Love here, and I want to share something very special with you. Check out my new release, All In, the Spanish remixes, out now on Electric House Records. And always remember, be love, share love, all love.
Available now wherever you listen to music.